Students, welcome to Biomics. Do you know why does some plants flower only during long night condition, or why does wheat flower during winter and rice flower during summer? It is due to photoperiodism. So what do you mean by photoperiodism? Photo means light, periodism means the amount of time. It is the amount of time which a plant is absorbing the light to do the flowering. So in this today's video we are going to discuss how this photoperiodism is regulating the flowering of the plant. So before that we have to understand some terms like critical day length. What do you mean by critical day length? It is the maximum amount of light or maximum amount of day length which a plant needs for doing the flowering. Okay, so suppose there is 24 hours in a cycle, and the minimum amount of light which a plant needs is 12 hours of light for doing the flowering. So the critical day length for this plant is 12 hours. Before that it cannot flower. So different plants have different critical day length. So according to this day length, they are divided into 5 types. Like first is a long day plant. Next is a short day plant. Next is a day neutral plant. Next is a long short day plant. Next is the short long day plant. So what happens in the long day plant? It requires long day as compared to night, and in case of short day plant it requires long night as compared to the day length. And what do you mean by day neutral plant? It does not have any photoperiodism cycle. It can flower in any condition. So we will understand clearly with this help of this diagram. So this is a condition of the short day. So what we have discussed what is a critical day length. Critical day length is a minimum amount of light which is required to the plant for doing the flowering. So here suppose it is of 24 hour. So here the 12 hour is a critical day length which is required for the plant to do its flowering. So what happens in case of short day plant? We can see here short day, that means night is more. Here we can see that this is light condition. Here we can see that here the light condition is more as compared to dark condition. Here the dark condition is less. It is not reaching the critical period. So in this case there will be no flowering. Okay. In this case we can see that here the day is long. It is long as compared to this critical duration. So here the dark condition is more. Okay, this is the dark condition, and in this case the dark condition is more than this critical period. That is the reason it is having the ability to do the flowering. And here the day length or the light condition is less. So this is an example of short day plant. That means this type of plants require short day length. It requires more dark condition. Okay, now the next condition. So here we can see that this is a critical period, this is the critical duration of darkness. So here until this there is dark condition. Okay, but during the dark condition there is night break. There is light break. That means there is some flash of light which has been given. So it is disturbing the dark condition. So what happens in this condition? It was in case of short day plant, it requires more amount of dark condition, but here it is being disturbed by flashlight. So here there cannot be any flowering. Okay, so we have in this part we have discussed 3 things. The first one is that here the critical period is not reached. Here the day length is more as compared to the night condition, but in case of short day plant we require less amount of light as compared to the critical duration of darkness. Okay, so here there was no flowering. In the second case we have seen that the light condition is less here and the dark condition is more. That is the reason here the flowering is taking place, because here the requirement is short day. And in the third condition we have seen that here there is long night is present, but there is breakage, flash of light is being given to it, due to which there is night break. That is the reason here there is no flowering. In the next condition we will see the long day plant. What happens in the long day plant? Here it requires long day. That means light condition will be more as compared to the critical length. As compared to the critical length, it should exceed the critical length. So here we can see that here the light condition is exceeding the critical length. That means here flowering can take place. Okay. So in the next condition, here we can see that this is a critical period, this is a critical period, but that this light condition is not crossing this critical period, or it is not reaching the critical period. That is the reason here there will be no flowering in case of long day plant. Okay. Now next, here we can see that here there is light condition, and here the dark condition is more. But what we are seeing here we are seeing the long day plant. That means the light conditions should be more. But in this case there is night break. If we are giving some light, or there is some flash of light is taking place in the dark condition, that the flowering can take place. So here we can see the flowering. If there is night break, here the flowering can take place. Again we will see this. So here this is a light treatment, and what will take place in case of short day plant and long day plant. Here we can see that there is a critical photoperiod. Here there will be a critical photoperiod, and we can see here that here the light condition is less and the dark condition is more. That means when the dark condition is more, that means a short day plant can flower. Here we can see that in case of short day plant we can see the flowering, but in case of long day plant there is no flowering, it is in the vegetative state. Okay, now the next condition, the second condition is, here we can see that the light is more here. Okay, so if there is more amount of light as compared to the critical period, that means here the flowering will take place in the long day plants. So in the short day plant there will be vegetative state, and in the long day plant there will be flowering. Now the next condition, in the next condition we can see that here the length of light is less but the darkness is more. But in the darkness there is breakage of light, or the flash of light is being given. There is night break. So if there is night break, here in the short day plant it cannot flower and it is in the vegetative state. But in the long day plant it can flower. So we have to remember one thing, that in the long day the dark condition is very much critical. If in the dark condition there is some amount of light is given during that time, it will not work as short day plant, it will work as long day plant, or the flowering will take place in the long day plant. But in case of short day plant there will be no flowering. Okay, now the next condition, here we can see that here the length here is of the light condition is this much here. Then there is dark condition, again there is light condition, again there is dark condition. So here what happens, there is breakage of this dark condition. That means the darkness or the night condition is less over here, or there is breakage of the dark condition. So here the flowering will take place in the long day plant. Now here we can see that there is here the comparison is between the light and darkness. Here the darkness is less, or we can tell that there is equal amount. During this condition also there will be flowering in the long day plant. Okay, now next, here we can see the light condition is less, but here the dark condition is extending. Okay, so as there is no night break in this region, in the darkness there is no night break, so here the flowering can take place in the short day plant. But in case of long day plant there will be vegetative phase. Okay, this was all about how the light and dark condition is helping in the flowering in case of short day plant and long day plant. What happens in case of long short day plant? In this case, at first it requires long condition, and in the later stage is required short condition in case of long short day plant. So the examples are Bryophyllum, Calochinin and night bloom jasmine. What happens in this case? It requires when does it flower? It flower in the late summer and fall when the days are shorter. So when the summer are what happens in case of summer season, the light condition is long. Okay, so in the late summer what happens? First here the long day condition is present, but in the late summer what happens? The day is reducing. So in this case the flowering is taking place in case of jasmine and some bryophyllum. So this is an example of long short day plant. So next is the short long day plants. In this condition, what happens? Initially the plant requires short day. It requires short day, and in a later condition, when it is going to flower, it requires long day. Okay, that means it will flower in early spring in response to lengthening days. So what are its examples? Its examples are white clover, canterbury bells, and ichgriva. These are some of the examples. And in case of day neutral plant, it does not require any condition of light or dark. It can flower in any time. Okay, so except from this, the flowering is also controlled by some of the photoreceptors. So what do you mean by photoreceptors? Photoreceptors, it is a receptor which is present in the plant for receiving the light. So what kind of light is being received? It receives the red as well as far red light. Okay, so what happens during when the light is falling? It is having a receptor. The plants are having a receptor. Okay, during this condition, this receptor is known as phytochrome, and this phytochrome is having the ability that it can absorb the red light. Okay, when it is absorbing the red light, it is being absorbed by the PR form of the phytochrome. When the red light is being absorbed when this PR is absorbing the phytochrome, it is now in the inactive form. This PR form is converting itself into the active form, which is known as PFR. Okay, and this PR is being absorbed in 660 to 685 nanometer of wavelength. Okay, now after receiving the light, this PR is converted into PFR, and this process is a fast process and it takes place in the light condition. During the night, what happens? This PFR, which was in the active form, it is receiving the far red light. It is receiving the far red light, and it is converting into PR form. Okay, so this PFR, which is absorbing the far red light, it is in the wavelength of 730 nanometer. So what happens? This PR form, when it is converting into PFR form, it is a fast process. But when this PFR is receiving the far red light and it is converting into PR form, it is a slow process. Okay, so we will see some of the example in case of long day plant and in case of short day plant, what it is taking place. Suppose in the dark condition, what happens? If, for example, we will see we are having 14 hours of dark condition and 10 hours of light condition. So what happens in this case? This PR form, which is present, it is receiving the red light and it is converting into PFR, and the time which is, this is the fast process and it requires 10 hours. Okay, so this PFR, when it is receiving the far red light, it is converting itself into PR form, which is an inactive form, but here the amount of time which is present is 14 hours. So here the PR form, which is converting into PFR in 10 hours. Now this PFR, it can convert into PR in 14 hours if it is also a slow process. No doubt PR is the conversion of PR into PFR, it is a fast process, but this process is taking place for 10 hours. But the PFR, which is present, it is converting into PR form and it is having 14 hours. So it can easily convert itself, whole PFR can convert itself into PR form. So in this case, what happens? There is absence of PFR. So if there is absence of PFR, that means here the short day plant is working. Okay, in absence of PFR, short day plant is working. Okay, now there is a condition of long day plant. So what happens if we consider 14 hours of light condition and 10 hours of dark condition? So during that times what happens? The PR is converted into PFR, and for this it requires red light. It is a fast process, and here it is taking place in 14 hours. Okay, now the PFR is receiving the far red light in the dark condition, and this is a slow process, and it is having only 10 hours. Can this PFR now convert itself into PR in 10 hours? It was a slow process, and it is also having less amount of time as compared to the day condition. So in this case, the whole PFR cannot be converted into PR. So here there is availability of this PFR now. There is some amount of PFR present. So if the PFR is present, that means there is more amount of light condition. That is the reason PFR is present over here. So in presence of PFR, long day plant will flower. Okay, so in presence of PFR, the long day plant will be flower. So let us again revise this. Let us see a shortcut for this. So what happens in case of short day plant? In case of short day plant, there will be if there is red light, there will be no flowering. In case of short day plant, if it is having far red light, that means it will have flowering. And the opposite is for long day plant. In case of long day plant, if red light is present, then there will be flowering, and if it is having far red light, that there will be no flowering. Okay, so why it is so? What is the reason? So what happens in case of when the red light is present? What happens when the red light is present? What is this? It converts into PFR. If there is PFR present, then what it will do? It will do flowering. Where it will do flowering? PFR. If PFR is more, it will do flowering in long day plant. But if PFR is more, does it flower in the short day plant? No, because in the short day it requires more amount. What happens in case of short day? It requires more amount of short day. Okay, so here the light condition will be less. So in this case there will be no flowering in short day plant. Okay, now the next condition is far red light. What happens in case of far red light? There is presence of PR. So if there is PR, there will be no flowering in case of long day plant. No flowering in place of long day plant, because long day plant requires PFR, and if this PFR is more, that means it is having long duration of time, and during that condition only the flowering will take place. Now here, if it is having PR, there will be flowering in short day plant. Okay, so let us see by this help of this diagram how this PR and PFR is controlling this short day and long day plant flowering. Okay, this is the condition of short day plant. So here we can see this is the light condition, and this is the dark condition. So if it is having more light, that means there will be no flowering. In this case, we will see this upper portion is the condition of short day and the lower portion is a condition of long day. So first of all, we will see how the short day is regulating. So this is light and this is the dark. In case here we are having the less amount of dark condition. So in the short day plant, what we require more amount of dark condition. So in the short day plant, it will not flower. But in case of long day plant, what it will do? It will show the flowering, because it is having long duration of light condition. It is above the critical length. That is the reason here the flowering will take place in the long day. In the down part, you can see that here the long day is present. So here the flowering will take place. Now the second condition. Here we can see this dark condition is above the critical period. Here the critical period is more. So as this is having more amount of dark condition, that means it will flower in the short day condition, but there will be no flowering in the long day plant, because here in the long day plant it requires more amount of long day condition. Okay, but here the condition of long day is less than the critical photoperiod. That is the reason here there will be no flowering. Now the next case. The next case is about the red light and far red light. Already we have discussed that if red light is present, that means it will convert the PR into PFR form. And if there is much amount of PFR, that means it will flower in the long day condition. Okay, so here we can see here, in this condition we can see that here the night condition is more than the critical period. But in this dark condition, the red light has been given. If the red light has been given, that means it will convert the PR. Here it will convert the PR into PFR form. If there is more amount of PFR, that means the amount of light condition will be more, so the flowering will take place in the long day condition. Here we can see that here in the short day condition there is no flowering, but in case of the long day condition there is flowering is showing. Okay. Now the next condition, here we can see that here also there is the same condition, like here the amount of dark is more than its critical photo period. Then there they have provided the red light. If they are providing the red light, the PR form is converting into PFR form. Okay, now they have again given the FR condition, far red light. If they are giving the far red light, the PFR which is present, it is again being converted into PR form. So what happens during this condition? The PFR which is present, it is low in this condition because so far red light is present. This far red light is responsible for converting the PFR into PR form. Okay, so in this condition there will be flowering in the short day plant, and in the long day plant there will be no flowering. Okay. Here again you can see that first red light is given, then after it is giving the far red light, then again they are providing the red light. That means if they are providing the red light, again they are providing the red light, it is again converting into PFR form. If there is high amount of PFR, that means the flowering will take place in the long condition. In the short day plant there will be no flowering. Here again you can see there is far red light, far red light, red light. Okay. So here 2 times they have given the red light and 2 times far red light. That means they are being cancelled out. Okay, and here the dark condition is more. That means here the flowering will take place in the short day plant. Okay, this is how the photoperiodism is controlled by the red light and far red light as well as by the light condition. Okay. So from this topic, this is not helping you only for your preparation of the BSc or MSc exam. These questions are also asked in many competitive exams like CSIR Life Science Net, IIT JAM, CET. Okay. So in this next video, we will discuss how the questions are being asked in CSIR Life Science Net. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and if you're new to this video, please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.